Excellencies, distinguished delegates, colleagues, dear friends, on behalf of the UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, it is my great pleasure to address this second Global Digital Summit on the inclusive management of disaster risk and disability. Thank you to Carlos Kaiser. Carlos, our friend, the Executive Director of Ong Inclusiva, for bringing us together once again. Last October, the inaugural session of this summit focused on strengthening disability inclusion in disaster risk management and enhancing the participation of persons with disabilities in the COVID-19 pandemic recovery. A tremendously important subject because we all know that COVID-19 is affecting everyone, but not in the same one, with persons of disability being affected tremendously. This year, we turn our attention to climate justice. With over 1 billion persons living with disabilities across the globe, initiatives such as this one are fundamental to the overall well-being of our communities and families. The impacts of climate change have disproportionate effects on persons with disabilities all over the world. Yet, persons with disabilities are often left behind in relief and response efforts. This is because of a combination of factors such as inaccessible disaster preparedness plans and, sadly, systemic discrimination, often resulting in their exclusion. This lapse represents a significant missed opportunity. Better than anyone else, persons with disabilities understand the barriers they face in the context of climate change and disaster risk, and you are best positioned to identify solutions to removing these barriers. But beyond this, including the perspective of persons with disabilities in disaster risk reduction interventions, this will reap many, many benefits. For example, consultation with persons with disabilities and their organizations in the design and implementation of climate and DRR policies increases legitimacy and effectiveness. Moreover, diverse perspectives offer depth to the communication and messaging about climate impact and action. This leads to information that is more genuine, legitimate, and representative. If we want to achieve the goals set by the Paris Agreement and the Sendai Framework, we must shift from selectively including persons with disabilities in our deliberations to broadly and systematically including them in both planning and action. The focus of this second summit, Disability, Inclusive Disaster Risk Reduction, and Climate Justice, is critically important. It can mean the difference between life or death for persons with disabilities. It is also a chance to ensure that DRR planning practices and strategies are more representative and account for people's different needs and life situation. This in turn allows us to explore the conditions that give rise to vulnerability and address the compound socioeconomic factors that disproportionately impact persons with disabilities, their families, and caregivers. So let us use this opportunity, this summit, so that we can indeed make the world a much more safer and much more resilient place for everybody, not only for the people living with disabilities, but for everybody. And I look forward very much to learning of your deliberations, your outcome, and continue working with you. Thank you very much.